Hi everyone, so I'm here today with another t-shirt tutorial, and my off-the-shoulder t-shirt tutorial is my most popular video, and I've been asked to do kind of like follow-up or other tutorials, and I haven't thought of a good one until now, but today I'm going to be showing you how I cut my perfect muscle tee, and I'm going to be showing you two styles. The first style is more of a boxy cut, and it's the one I'm wearing now, which I cut a little while ago, and a couple of you asked me about this shirt. This is a shirt I got from DressLink. It's very oversized, it's very boxy, and I kind of like a boxy cut for this style. I don't like it to taper in too much or show too much, because with a boxy cut you might reveal too much if you cut it too like inward. So I'll be explaining all of that in this video, but for now let me just back up and show you what this t-shirt looks like. So where I usually run into trouble when I'm cutting my muscle tees is I cut the hole way too big. So it drops too far down and yeah, it just hangs a little bit oddly when that happens. So today I'm going to show you the measurements for the perfect cut every single time. At the end of this video, I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions that I got from my other video. So stay tuned to the end if you have any questions, and hopefully I will answer them. So here are the items you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need the t-shirt. You'll need a marker, you'll need a pair of scissors, and you'll need a tape measure. This first type of t-shirt that I'm going to show you how to cut is a boxy type of tee, and I'll just back up to show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's really big, it's really oversized and boxy, and this is a men's size large, but you could also use a men's size medium depending on your frame. The first thing you're going to have to do is to measure your t-shirt, and again, this is going to be a boxy style, similar to the one I'm wearing now. So the first thing we're going to do is measure this shoulder section on the boxy cut muscle tee. And to do that, all you need to do is to take your measuring tape and measure across the whole width of your shoulders. So as you can see, I'm going shoulder to shoulder, one edge to the other, but it doesn't have to be exact. And you take that measurement. For me, I'm about 15 inches all the way across, and you want to divide that by 3. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I'm going to cut my shoulder section on my boxy muscle tee 5 inches wide. So basically that's the measurement that I'll be going with, but if you're a little more broad or if you're a little more narrow in the shoulders, you can adjust the measurement to whatever fits your frame. I'm going to start by measuring just one side of the t-shirt because I'm going to fold it over and create a template for the other side. Just lay out your tape measure, and you're basically going to lay the edge of your tape measure where it starts at the neckline. And then at 5 inches, you're going to make a little mark. Then from this mark, we're going to measure the drop. So to measure the drop, all you need to do is take your tape measure, start it at the top of your shoulder, and bring it down to your natural waistline. So this is in line with your belly button. So on me, that's about 15 inches, and then I'm just gonna subtract 1 inch because I don't want the hole to be too big, and I will be stretching out the shirt a little bit. So 15 minus 1 is 14, so I'm gonna make the drop, or the armhole, 14 inches down. So again, I'm just going to start the tape measure where I marked off the 5 inches from the neckline, and then I'm going to take the drop 14 inches and I'm going to mark that spot there. So this doesn't have to be exact, but round about 14 inches is usually where the drop lands nicely on me. I'm about 5'1". So now that I have my beginning mark and my end mark, I'm basically going to cut a relatively straight line down to meet the 2 points. And I'll just curve it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to cut on the inside of the mark because obviously I don't want the mark on my t-shirt. So just cut through the seam, and then cutting both layers, just keep your eye on the end mark and gradually curve your cut down to meet that other mark that you made. So again, this does not have to be perfect. You're going to be stretching this out a little bit later, and it's going to look fine. So I'm just cutting very gradually to meet that little mark down there. And again, I'm going to cut to the outside of the mark so I don't have that on my final t-shirt. So now that your one side is done, you can go ahead and fold your t-shirt right in half and use this as a template for the other side. Now I like to fold mine like so, with the pattern on the outside, because I feel more comfortable cutting in this direction. So I've gone ahead and folded the t-shirt in half. Now you just want to make sure that you smooth out the section that you'll be cutting, because you don't want any kind of dips inside the shirt, because that'll throw off your cut a little bit. So just make sure it's smooth on the cut line, and then you can go ahead and, following the same guide, just cut it down. Now what you want to do is just stretch out the armholes. So just take your t-shirt and stretch it out a bit. Normally I don't cut off the neckline, nor do I cut off the bottom hem, because I just like those to be intact for this style. But because this particular shirt is so long, I am actually going to cut the hem off just a little bit. I'll probably just cut an inch off or so, but this is totally optional depending on where the t-shirt falls on you. So the hem is really easy to cut off. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut straight across. And then, similar to the armholes, once you're done with that, just stretch it out. Okay, so here is the t-shirt that I just cut. It's super casual, super boxy, and backing up, this is kind of how it looks on my frame. So here is the second type of t-shirt I'm going to show you, or the second style of muscle tee. It's basically a more tapered, I guess more revealing style. So if this is more to your liking, I will be showing you how to cut this style as well. And let me just back up again so you can take a look at it. So here is what the t-shirt looks like once it's been cut. And for the second style, I typically use a women's small t-shirt. So I basically use the exact same methodology to cut this t-shirt, but the only difference is the measurement on the shoulder. It's the same exact measurement, but instead of 5 inches, you want to subtract 2 inches. So this measurement here is about 3 inches across. And I'll just go over again how to measure your shoulders for this, but essentially it's your previous measurement less 2 inches. So again, what you want to do is measure all the way across from this side of your shoulders to the other side. For me, I'm about 15 inches. You divide that number by 3, so 15 divided by 3 is 5 inches, and you subtract 2 from that number. So for me, that would be 3 inches, and that's how big I've measured this shoulder section on the more fitted muscle tee. And for the drop, it's going to be the exact same measurement, so from the top of your shoulder down to your natural waistline, or in line with your belly button. And for me, that's about 15 inches, and I'm gonna subtract 1 inch from that to give me a 14-inch drop. And the reason I subtract 1 inch is because I do stretch out my shirt, and I don't want the hole to be too gaping and too big on the side. So once again, at the shoulder seam, you want to take your tape measure, place it at the edge of the neckline, and then measure out 3 inches and just mark the seam with your marker. Then from the mark that you just made, you want to measure the drop, and again we're going to go 14 inches. And it's just going to be a straight line from the mark you made to the side seam of the shirt. So let's go ahead, mark off 14 inches. Now that you have your 2 marks, you're going to go ahead and cut, and again it's going to be a gradual curve to meet the mark at the side seam. So once again, I'm cutting to the inside of this mark because I don't want that on my t-shirt. And then very gradually, keeping your eye kind of lined up with the end mark, or where you want to end off your cut, just make a very gradual line curving towards it. So now, once again, I'm going to be folding this t-shirt in half so I can use this as a template for the other side. And I'm going to fold it with the pattern on the outside, or the logo on the outside, and then I want to make sure there are no bumps underneath. So once I'm happy with the way it's lined up, I can go ahead and just follow this template and cut the other side. So here is the completed t-shirt. If you find that you have a little bit of seam poking out, you can just snip that off. Here is the t-shirt that I cut for the second style, and I'm just gonna back up and show you what it looks like. So that is it for the tutorial portion. Now I'm going to answer 3 of my most frequently asked questions from my How to Cut the Perfect Off-the-Shoulder T-shirt video. So the first question that I got a lot was, where do I get my t-shirts? So you can basically buy your t-shirts anywhere. I get a lot of my t-shirts from Chinatown or from Goodwill or from Value Village just because they're less expensive. All you really have to do is find a pattern that you like or a logo or a design that you like. The second question that I got a lot was, what size do I buy? Now I'm about 5'1.5" and I weigh 110 to 115 pounds. So with my perfect off-the-shoulder t-shirt, it doesn't matter what size t-shirt you have, as long as you like the way it falls on your torso or on your frame, and as long as you feel comfortable in the t-shirt, you can cut any size tee into an off-the-shoulder tee. Now for the perfect muscle tee, I recommend that for larger t-shirts or oversized t-shirts, you cut the shoulder at 5 inches so it becomes a more boxy tee. And then for smaller t-shirts or more fitted t-shirts like this one, you cut a smaller shoulder measurement at 3 inches so it falls more like this. My third most frequently asked questions is, can you wash these tees? A lot of people are concerned that they'll start coming apart at the seams, and I've washed my t-shirts tons of times and I found that doesn't really happen. I think it's because t-shirts are typically serged rather than just like stitched with a normal stitch, so it doesn't come apart and unravel that easily. If you are nervous about that, you can go ahead and stitch the edges for some extra reinforcement, but I've never done that, mainly because I'm really lazy and I've never had an issue with the t-shirt falling apart or unraveling or anything like that. So I hope this answers any questions you may have had. If you do have more questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below and I will do my best to answer. So that is it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you do end up trying this tutorial, please let me know in the comment section down below how it went for you. I would love to hear about it. Thanks again for watching, and until I see you next time, please take care and bye for now.